Hello everybody, this is Hybrid.
And this is White Sheep. And I didn't know we were starting yet.
Yeah, this is Comic Book Versus. Welcome back, everybody.
Yes, it's been so long. Everyone's been so busy. Both me and Hybrid are working.
Yeah.
Long hours.
It's hard.
Yeah, so trying to squeeze this in while we have the time. We were actually supposed to record, a lot, back to back. And that didn't happen. But,
We're here now.
But without further ado, Hybrid, take it away.
Alright, so I have Wolverine.
You
my
can
bad.
have Wolverine.
I have Deathstroke. I'll take Deathstroke because I researched him. To go into who he is, his real name is Slade Joseph Wilson. His abilities: superhuman strength, speed, durability, healing factor, reflexes, senses, longevity. I don't care. Basically, he lives for a long time.
Speak good English.
Intelligence, master tactician, strategist, combatant, swordsman, and marksman. His equipment is the nth metal armor he wears, which is the reason why instead of being peak human, he's metahuman. Prometheum sword, and various other weapons that he has, basically depending on who he's going to kill. Now his strength, he can lift several tons thanks to the nth metal armor. Without the nth metal armor, he's what we consider peak human, so about 800 pounds to 1,000 pounds max. His speed stats are enhanced. He can run past 30 miles per hour. I'd say it's approximately around 50-ish, but for all intents and purposes, reflexes too, they are enhanced to what would be low-level superhuman levels. So it's not like the Flash or anything like that, but that's also enhanced due to the nth metal armor. Now his intelligence, it is what would be considered super genius. That is because on top of, because he went through a kind of, in the military, went through his procedure, as I put it, and it enhanced basically everything about him. It's kind of like, think about the Captain America procedure. To put it in perspective, think about Batman, but times 2 times 3 when it comes to intellect. And that's, I guess, a good concept of just how smart he is, or at least how he's able to calculate things. And, it really goes into his strategy and tactician, because as a military man, obviously. Now we go into his fighting. He is a master of various martial arts that are kind of prominent. Go from ninjutsu, karate, jujitsu, boxing, and plenty more. He's able to hold his own against Batman in hand-to-hand combat, and I'd say probably in New 52 he could probably beat Batman to a degree in hand-to-hand combat without Batman using his gadgets due to the nth metal armor. Don't quote me on that. That's just from what I've researched on New 52 Deathstroke. That's what it appears to be compared to New 52 Batman. His durability, though, it's superhuman thanks to the nth metal armor. It's enhanced without the nth metal armor. But to give you a grasp of the nth metal armor, the reason why it's not indestructible per se is because nth metal can be damaged. And I actually saw when I was reading one of the New 52 Deathstroke issues, he was caught in an explosion, and yes, he survived the explosion, but part of the nth metal armor wasn't on him anymore. It came apart, so it's not bound to him like Wolverine's adamantium's bound to a skeleton. It's much different. Also, he has a healing factor, which it's very enhanced. He basically can't get sick, and he can recover from things that would usually kill people. It's not up to Wolverine's standards per se, and it's enhanced by the nth metal armor as well. But to give you kind of a concept of it, unless you rip out his heart or a vital organ, he can essentially heal that back up.
I'd put it a different way. What I would say about Deathstroke's healing factor is it seems a little more like it makes him harder to kill, essentially, because what it's described as he'll just keep taking punishment until his body reaches a certain point, and before that point he'll heal up, but after that point he'll die. It's much more than a normal human's, but it's one of those things where he'll heal to a certain point, but once his body takes that final blow, he'll go down. I wouldn't say it's ripping out his heart, because that's getting into some serious almost Wolverine level shit.
Well, I'm saying if you skim his heart with a bullet, or you stab his heart, he'll heal back.
Depending on where it is, though. I mean, it's
true. If it's very vital, if you if you severe a connection between his brain to the rest of his body,
well, yeah,
I'm pretty sure that
he's still human. I mean,
well, that might heal, but not heal properly. I don't know, let's not get into the medical aspect.
He's probably not gonna heal.
Oh man,
because that'll paralyze him, and unless he gets put into life-saving care like immediately, he's a goner. And he's a pretty bad dude, so I really doubt they'd put him in a life-saving care like immediately.
Yeah.
So,
but energy rejection, he has none. So that's Deathstroke's equipment. We have the nth metal armor, which enhances his physical abilities. It's also very durable and strong itself. Now we have the Prometheum sword, which is nearly invincible. Think the DC equivalent to vibranium. It can absorb energy, and yeah, like I just said, DC equivalent to vibranium pretty much. And also he has various weapons, guns, knives, etc. Deathstroke, and now on to Wolverine.
So you guys know how I like to interject stuff into.
He's overhyped. Just saying.
Oh, okay.
OP.
I'd like to. Oh, of course, but I'd like to bring up something first, before I even get started. You guys, you know how I like to interject stuff when Hybrid's talking and banter back and forth a little bit with that. But Hybrid doesn't have to do that for me, especially this time, because I'm going to come out and say it right in front. Wolverine no longer has the healing factor.
I was going to actually let White Sheep get away and still have the healing factor.
I said no, because
due to our rules of the show,
we have to uphold the integrity. Because we redid the whole Sinestro thing, because Sinestro got his powers changed, and we always like to bring you guys the cutting edge comparisons of what's exactly going on.
Which means Wolverine about to die.
Okay, I actually think Wolverine has a fighting chance at taking down Deathstroke here.
He has a fighting chance, but that doesn't mean he will succeed.
The healing factor.
I'll let you. I digress.
Okay, you digress. I will go now. Wolverine, his real name is James Howlett, which is something a lot of people probably don't know.
Yeah, they always call him Logan because that's like a nickname.
It's like James. I guess it's James Logan or something like that.
I think that's his dad's name.
But his abilities are actually, the list goes on and on. But before I get into that, what's the first word that comes to mind when you think of Wolverine?
Small, little, nasty, fierce creatures.
That's more than one word. The word I'm looking for, children, is
small.
Rage. Rage.
They're like
both his greatest
angry
liability and his greatest asset. And I'll explain in a little bit why it's his greatest asset, but why a lot of people might not know that. But let's get into it first. His abilities are superhuman strength, speed, agility, stamina, healing, durability, senses, you spelled it wrong on there.
That's
it's
the
longevity.
Last season, our running joke was I spelled intelligence wrong. This season's running joke, I spelled longevity wrong.
Josh gained a bar in the intelligence bar, and he now knows how to spell intelligence, but still not longevity. That's like a 3-bar stat. He has adamantium claws. He's a master tactician, is a master combatant, and a master marksman, and a master swordsman, and he's multilingual. Now, I gotta go back and say, okay, so he doesn't have the healing. But when you look at just the laundry list of stuff Wolverine has, it's clear to see.
Dirty laundry.
Dirty laundry. I know that guy's got a history.
Hairy laundry.
Okay, if you're into that sort of thing, you can see if you look at this list of abilities, he's definitely got a chance. Looking at that, he doesn't have any equipment. But moving on, his stats, his strength is max 2 tons, so that's 4 bars of strength on the strength bar. On the strength bar, I'm gonna start. Have I called these bars before?
I don't know.
Okay, well I'm gonna start doing it. He's got 4 bars of strength, 2 tons. That's a lot for a regular human being. Now, he's not a regular human being.
A lot of it's due to the adamantium.
A lot of it's due to the adamantium. And so that's because, he's a little denser. Into the
science?
Josh would own me in the science, so...
Or anyways, it's like he's basically continuously, because adamantium weighs his bones down, he's basically continuously lifting weight. So the adamantium is pretty much like making him stronger. And due to how his healing factor works, basically his recovery time is insane. Theoretically, he would just get stronger essentially instantaneously to a degree, and on top of the fact that Wolverine has been shown to actually exercise himself, that probably just increases even further. And due to the fact that the adamantium bones can support more weight than regular bones could, it makes sense
helps.
He would have enhanced strength.
Yes, but so while his healing factor is not there to increase his recovery time, he still probably has a faster than human recovery time, I'd say. Moving on, his speed is enhanced, only 3 bars, but it's higher than a normal human's. I can't remember the exact numbers of his MPH, probably somewhere like, 30? Because that's... What does Usain Bolt run? Because he's close to 30.
The thing is, his speed, it's not really like... He can't really do long distance running. It's more of a... reflexes due to the fact that he's like a ninja.
So moving on from speed, his intelligence is actually Now, before we show you this, before he jumps to this slide, I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think Wolverine's intelligence is? Because a lot of times, media, like the movies and the shows, they make him out to not actually be as intelligent as he is. When in actuality, Wolverine is probably one of the more intelligent members of the X-Men, and is in fact a 5-bar, genius level intelligence. And I can't remember where it was, but Forge has described Wolverine and his skill set and his athleticism and his intelligence as he's like an Olympic gymnast who has the ability to do a gold medal routine while simultaneously in his head doing the computations required to defeat 4 chess grandmasters. So that's just, a little taste of, the fact that he is both intelligent and extremely physical. And that ties into the rage, which I'm going to argue later. But
too bad Deathstroke doesn't play chess.
That's true. Well, he might if he's so smart.
Good at it.
It's Wolverine moving on his fighting skills. And this is another thing. A lot of people might assume, and I myself assumed before I read up on this, I assumed that Wolverine was a little bit like Captain America, where we describe Captain America as his fighting experience, it comes from being around. He's been around the block. He learned, through a war and actual experience fighting people. Wolverine actually, and that's what I had always assumed Wolverine was going to be, was just this sort of learned over time, style of fighting it's combat ready. Well, actually, until I thought about this, I pieced it together as we were recording last time. Wolverine is he's definitely a master martial artist. And he's got extensive training as a soldier and a CIA operative, which is kind of what the Captain America thing is, plus a little bit. He's also a samurai, but he's a master of 15 forms of martial arts, and he's one of the finest combatants on Earth in the Marvel Universe. I'd say at least Batman level, at least. Alright, his durability is, with regeneration, it was going to be the full 7 bars. Unkillable. You just can't kill this sucker.
He's not indestructible, but he's unkillable.
He's not, I mean...
Well, I guess technically he would be indestructible because of adamantium, but
yeah,
it just made more sense to put unkillable because...
it's hard to kill this guy. But without the regeneration, he's only a 4 bar, which, if I understand, is slightly above human potential, is 4 bars there.
4 bars is...
Because 3 bars is typically
4 bars is regeneration.
4 bars, so it's 3 bars?
So technically he'd be at 2 bars, which is normal.
Well, dude, no, he'd be at 3.
Cause he doesn't have enhanced durability.
You put it at 4.
Well, alright, I guess you could argue with his suit, maybe it's padded for some reason.
Okay.
It's enhanced or bulletproof or something.
So here's we're just gonna breeze over this because I don't like to think about it. Wolverine is actually right now at normal human regeneration, and his energy, he only has 1 bar because he's not the energy kind of guy. Now I'm gonna let Josh rebut what I have just said, and then I'll deliver my closing argument, my rebuttal to his rebuttal.
Wolverine without his healing factor wouldn't last long against Deathstroke. The reason why is because Deathstroke, that's all it does is kill people. He's fought and taken down beings like Lobo, who, on top of obviously having a healing factor, is very, very strong, lifting several hundred, around 100 tons, etc. Basically superhuman, while Wolverine is barely superhuman, if any anymore, really. Now, I also want to bring up a point where the adamantium is continuously poisoning his body. And they said that in a Wolverine comic one time, without his healing factor, which actually the adamantium slows down because it's continuously poisoning him from the inside, the only reason he's alive is because of that healing factor, stopping the adamantium from killing him by poisoning his bloodstream, and etc. So, technically, Deathstroke, all he would have to do in this fight is push Wolverine to a point where his body is so exhausted, it can't fight off the toxins at all, even a little bit, and his body would just die. Like, he would die himself from the adamantium poisoning. Also, all Deathstroke has to do, because Deathstroke has guns, he just has to shoot Wolverine. Like, no offense to Wolverine, I'm sure the adamantium obviously, can stop the bullets, but I have to edit that and put it back in when I'm talking before.
Real quick before we go further, we're gonna have to work on shortening these.
Editing magic.
Okay, I trust you. All right, we got this. All right, so you can continue then.
And action. So I guess kind of to wrap up why I think personally Deathstroke would beat Wolverine. It's just in the New 52, the Deathstroke we have is so like the pre-New 52 Deathstroke was already a big threat to tons of metahumans. Metahumans ranging from the Flash, Kid Flash, to Batman Nightwing. And just the new 52 Deathstroke is just so overwhelmingly, I guess, OP for killing. Like, basically, all he does is killing, and he's a master at killing. And he's a super genius as well. Like, Wolverine's smart in his own right, but Deathstroke is just naturally smarter. And I think that's going to come into play in this fight too, because while fighting Wolverine, even with the healing factor, he'd understand, I can't kill this guy, but I can sure neutralize this guy. So I'm pretty sure Deathstroke would find a way to neutralize Wolverine, considering his Prometheum sword will pretty much not be broken. It's basically, it would be on par to adamantium.
I mean, I'd like to call that point into contention because we actually don't know if that's what would happen. Do we? Is there a direct comparison of adamantium on? Okay, well,
no, the Prometheum sword, the Prometheum, the metal, because it's volatile Prometheum, and it will absorb energy like similar vibranium. To a. I just said that. Yeah, it's like by DC equivalent to vibranium, pretty much. But yeah, so that's gonna give him, I think, an edge over Wolverine, because just with his natural intellect and his already enhanced physiology on top of the nth metal enhancing it further, it's just too much. Like, this is a dude who hacked Batman's Batjet and just made it explode in midair just to do it.
Just for kicks.
Just cause shits and giggles. So I'll let you go and say your piece. Why you think Wolverine will somehow beat Deathstroke.
Okay. Remember when I told you the one word to describe Wolverine would be probably rage? That's what you'd think. Josh thinks it would be short, but that's just Hugh Jackman's Hugh Jackman's 6'2", so and I think that's actually made them draw the character a little bit bigger, because I think Hugh Jackman's to blame for that. But essentially, I'd like to add another word to describe Wolverine, which is intelligent. And when you combine rage with intelligence, he basically is funneling that anger. It's directed. It's not just a wild, like Hulk-style rage. It is focused and channeled. I think that makes him, just the fiercest combatant that Deathstroke would ever face, because that's something Batman doesn't have, is that focused rage. Batman is just cool, calculated intellect. Wolverine is just liquid death. Liquid death. But no. Moving on, I mean, I think we all know if Wolverine had his healing factor to where he is unkillable, this fight would be extremely one-sided. I believe that's my personal belief. Is with the healing factor, Wolverine easily has Deathstroke. Easily, because he can't be killed. And he can, go all out and basically just, kill the motherfucker. But, Deathstroke might have the slight edge in this one just because, he can heal, he has guns, whatnot. But I think, don't count Wolverine out. I think Wolverine is, honestly, as smart, if not, I'm not going to say if not smarter. I think they're close to the same level on intelligence. I think Wolverine definitely has the edge in experience. And he's definitely been around. I mean, he's been shot at. His fighting style, someone made a point somewhere that his fighting style is just based around getting shot and taking it. That's true, but I think you underestimate his ability to adapt strategically, because a lot of people don't know how strategically he's a genius, because he's commanded troops in so many wars, and he knows all the art of war stuff from Sun Tzu, and he's got all this strategic knowledge. I think he'd understand strategically, as well as Deathstroke, maybe a little bit better than Deathstroke, his ability and change his fighting style and change the way he's facing Deathstroke to give himself maybe a little bit more of a chance.
Well, to touch upon that experience factor, Deathstroke has been around since the Korean War.
I'd like to bring you back to
but I do think killing wise they're pretty even.
This World War I, 50 years earlier. Well, 40.
Yeah, but he took the adamantium bullet to the head.
Well, so?
And probably now he would take the adamantium arrow to the knee. Skyrim joke.
Oh, come on. If you have to point it out, I mean. Okay, I still say Wolverine finds a way to win it with
all
the
strategic
fans vote cunning.
Wolverine.
You goddamn right. The adamantium. See, and to bring up your adamantium poisoning point, what we're doing here is we're comparing just the stats. We're comparing the powers. It's not he's been living with the adamantium poisoning for 6 months, so he's definitely close to death. No, it's he doesn't have the healing, and he might be getting poisoned, but that's that. I think when you look at the stat, I I don't think that the adamantium poisoning should be considered as heavily because there's no time frame for it. Because we can't say, oh, he's been living with it for X amount of months. I mean, but that's just my 2 cents. Which is why you're all watching, of course, is our 2 cents. But collectively, we have 4 cents.
Yeah.
But,
oh my. Yeah. So that's about it for this episode.
It's 25 minutes long, guys.
Next episode will be. Do you want to say it?
Black Widow
versus
Batgirl,
featuring Joel from Comic Book Cast giving his 2 cents. We have 6 cents total.
6 cents, guys.
On the
we
topic.
Can totally buy something.
So yeah, I guess that kind of wraps it up. This is Hybrid,
and this is White Sheep.
And see you guys later.
Thank you for watching this long ass video.